into simpler sections with examples. Here's the explanation. Topic overview. The article discusses inflation in December 2024 and its implications for India's economy, especially with the upcoming union budget and the Reserve Bank of India's RBI monetary policy review. Inflation refers to the rate at which prices of goods and services rise, reducing purchasing power. Key highlights and simplification. 1. December inflation figures. Inflation eased to 5.22% in December 2024 compared to 5.5% in November. What does this mean? Prices increased slightly slower than before but are still high. Example, if your grocery bill in November was $1,000, in December it increased slightly less but still cost around $1,052. 2. Food inflation. Food prices are a major part of inflation. Vegetables price rise slowed but was still high, 26.6% in December, down from 29.3% in November. Some items became more expensive. Edible oils, 14.6%, highest in 33 months. Potatoes, 68.2% price increase. Eggs, meat, and fruits also saw higher prices. Impact on households. Even though some prices are stabilizing, essential food items remain costly, straining household budgets. 3. Wholesale prices rising. Wholesale prices businesses pay to buy in bulk, are also increasing. Implication: higher wholesale prices might lead to businesses passing on the costs to consumers, making goods even more expensive. Challenges for RBI and government. 1. Balancing growth and inflation. The government and industries want RBI to reduce interest rates. Why? Lower interest rates make loans cheaper, encouraging people to borrow and spend more, which boosts the economy. However, the RBI is cautious because high inflation can reduce people's purchasing power, slowing long-term growth. 2. Food prices and CPI. Even if food prices are excluded, they still affect household spending. Example, if potatoes and edible oils are expensive, people may cut back on other expenses, affecting overall consumption in the economy. External challenges. The rupee is weakening against the dollar. Why is this bad? A weaker rupee makes imports like oil costlier, adding to inflation. Global oil prices are rising, further increasing costs for transportation and production. What's next? The RBI might cut interest rates if inflation stabilizes closer to 4%. The union budget may announce steps to control prices, like subsidies or import adjustments. Policymakers need a balanced approach to avoid mistakes that worsen inflation or slow economic growth. Conclusion. This editorial emphasizes the complexity of managing inflation and growth. With food prices high and external factors like a weak rupee adding pressure, the RBI and government need to carefully coordinate their policies. A misstep could lead to higher inflation or slower economic recovery. Does this explanation help? Would you like me to elaborate further on? Vocabulary words. 1. Moderate, meaning to make or become less severe or extreme. Synonyms: lessen, reduce, ease. Antonyms: increase, intensify, escalate. Example: the government took steps to moderate the rising inflation. 2. Spiking, meaning a sudden sharp increase in value or amount. Synonyms: surging, escalating, shooting up. Antonyms: dropping, decreasing, declining. The prices of edible oils spiked by 14.6% in December. 3. Propensity, meaning a natural inclination or tendency to behave in a particular way. Tendency, inclination, predisposition. Antonyms: disinclination, aversion, resistance. Example: people have a higher propensity to spend more during festivals. 4. Nuanced, meaning characterized by subtle distinctions or differences. Synonyms: subtle, refined, detailed. Antonyms: simple, straightforward, obvious. Example: a nuanced approach is necessary to manage inflation without hampering growth. 5. Imponderables, meaning factors that are difficult or impossible to estimate or assess. Synonyms: uncertainties, unknowns, variables. Antonyms: certainties, facts, fixed points. Example: the unraveling of the rupee adds to the imponderables affecting the economy. Phrasal verbs. 1. Fork out, meaning to spend money unwillingly or reluctantly. Example: households had to fork out more money for basic meals due to rising food prices. 2. Look through, meaning to ignore or disregard something. The government wants the RBI to look through the volatile food inflation. 3. Tip the scales, meaning to influence the outcome of a decision or situation. Example, tangible measures in the budget could tip the scales for an interest rate cut. Idioms phrases. 1. Ring in relief, meaning to bring or signal a sense of relief or comfort. Example, December's inflation numbers did not ring in enough relief for households. 2. Compounded the trade-off matrix, meaning made the decision-making process more complicated by adding additional challenges. Example, the weakening rupee and rising oil prices compounded the trade-off matrix for policymakers. 3. Durable alignment, meaning a stable and lasting adjustment or agreement. Example, the RBI is waiting for a durable alignment to its 4% inflation target before cutting rates. Let me 1. Direct comprehension questions. Q1. What was the inflation rate in December 2024? A 5%, B 5.22%, C 8.4%, D 4.5%. Answer B 5.2%. Q2. What contributed to the mild decline in inflation in December 2024? A. Decrease in oil prices. B. Reduction in interest rates. C. Easing in food prices. D. Strengthening of the rupee. Answer easing in food prices. Q3. Which food item experienced the highest inflation rate in December 2024? A. Eggs. Meat. C. Edible oils. D. Potatoes. D. Potatoes. Q4. What does the term volatile food inflation refer to in the passage? A. Sudden and sharp increase in food prices. B. Stable food prices. C. Declining food prices. D. Predictable inflation trends. Answer A. Sudden and sharp increase in food prices. Q5. What external factor is likely to increase inflation further as mentioned in the passage? A. Decrease in global oil prices. B. Strengthening of the rupee. C. Weakening of the rupee against the dollar. D. Reduction in food inflation. Answer C. Weakening of the rupee against the dollar. 2. Vocabulary-based questions. Q6. What is the meaning of reinvigorate as used in the passage? A. Reduce, strengthen, C. Abandon, D. Monitor. Answer B. Strengthen. Q7. What is the synonym of nuanced? A. Subtle, B. Obvious, C. Simple, D. Straightforward. Q8. What is the antonym of accelerating? A. Speeding, B. Slowing, C. Rising, D. Slowing. 3. Fill in the blanks from the passage. Q9. Food inflation moderated from over court in the previous month to 8.4% last month. A. 10%, B. 9%, C. 7%, D. 6%. Answer in percent. Q10. Edible oils rose at a 33-month high pace of A. 10.6%, B. 14.6%, C. 12.5%, D. 14.6%. Sentence rearrangement parajumbles. Rearrange the sentences to form a coherent paragraph. Q11. However, food price trends significantly influence household spending. 2. Inflation in wholesale prices indicates the possibility of higher consumer costs. 3. Although food inflation eased slightly, it remains high in critical items like edible oils and potatoes. 4. Policymakers face challenges in managing inflation and growth simultaneously. A. 4213, B. 3214, C. 2431, 3142, B. 3214. 5. True, false, or fact-based questions. Q12. The Reserve Bank of India has already reduced interest rates to combat inflation. A. True. Answer. False. Q13. Inflation in vegetables decreased but still remained high in December 2024. A. B. False. Q14. Global oil prices have fallen to multi-year lows, reducing inflationary pressure. A. True. Answer. False. Q1. What was the primary reason for the decline in inflation in December 2024? A. Reduction in wholesale prices. B. Easing in food prices. C. Decrease in global oil prices. D. Strengthening of the rupee. Answer B. Easing in food prices. Q2. What was the inflation rate in the Consumer Price Index CPI for November 2024? A. 5.22%. B. 8.4%. C. 5.5%. D. 9.5%. 0.5%. Q3. Which food item experienced the highest inflation in December 2024? A. Fruits. B. Potatoes. C. Edible oils. D. Vegetables. B. Potatoes. Q4. What external factor is highlighted as contributing to the inflationary pressure? A. Decline in global oil prices. B. Weakening of the rupee against the dollar. C. Reduction in food inflation. D. Increase in interest rates. Answer. Weakening of the rupee against the dollar. What inflation rate does the RBI aim to achieve before reducing interest rates? A. 4.5%, 5%, 4%, D. 6%. 2. Vocabulary-based questions. What is the meaning of the word reinvigorate as used in the passage? A. To weaken. B. To energize. C. To criticize. To pause. Answer B. To energize. Q7. What is the synonym of imponderables as used in the passage? A. Certainties. B. Unknowns. C. Results. D. Solutions. B. Unknowns. Q8. What is the antonym of accelerating? A. Increasing. B. Slowing. C. Surging. D. Expanding. 3. Fill in the blanks. Q9, food inflation moderated from over in the previous month to 8.4% in December 2024. A5, B, 9%, 6%, 10%, B, 9%. Q10, edible oils rose at a 33-month high pace of A, 14.6%, B, 12%, C, 10.6%, D, 15.5%. A, 14.6%. 4. Sentence rearrangement parajumbles. Rearrange the sentences to form a coherent paragraph. Q11.1. Even if food prices are excluded, they still affect household spending patterns. 2. Inflation in wholesale prices suggests higher costs may be passed on to consumers. 3. Although food inflation eased slightly, critical items like edible oils and potatoes saw high inflation. 4. Policymakers face challenges in balancing inflation and growth simultaneously. A. 4, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, C, 2, 4, 3, 1, D, 3, 1, 4, 2. Answer 214 had 5 true, false, or fact-based questions. Q12. The inflation rate for food items, including vegetables, dropped below 8% in December 2024. A. True. B. False. B. False. Q13. The rupee strengthening against the dollar contributed to inflation in December 2024. A. True. B. 14. Global oil prices have increased, adding to inflationary pressures in India. A. True. Answer A. True. Beginner. To solve parajumbles. 1. Identify the opening sentence, topic sentence. Look for a sentence that introduces the topic. It should not begin with pronouns like this, it, these, or connectors like however, but, or therefore, as these imply continuation. 2. Find links between sentences, mandatory pairing. Check for logical connections between sentences, cause, effect, explanation, or sequence. For example, if one sentence mentions food prices and another sentence explains their impact on households, these two are linked. 3. Look for connectors, clues. Words like however, thus, also, or therefore often show how sentences are connected. Example, food inflation moderated in December. However, some items like potatoes still saw high inflation. 4. Form a logical flow. Arrange the sentences so they make sense as a complete paragraph. Let's apply this to the parajumble question. Question. Rearrange these sentences. 1. Even if food prices are excluded, they still affect household spending patterns. 2. Inflation in wholesale prices suggests higher costs may be passed on to consumers. 3. Although food inflation eased slightly, critical items like edible oils and potatoes saw high inflation. 4. Policymakers face challenges in balancing inflation and growth simultaneously. Step 1. Identify the topic sense opening sentence. Sentence 3 introduces the topic. Although food inflation eased slightly, critical items like edible oils and potatoes saw high inflation. This sets the context for the paragraph. Step 2. Find logical links. Sentence 2 follows logically. Inflation in wholesale prices suggests higher costs may be passed on to consumers. Why? Sentence 2 expands on inflation by showing its effect on consumer costs. Sentence 1 comes next. Even if food prices are excluded, they still affect household spending patterns. This explains why inflation is significant, even beyond food prices. Step 3. Conclude the paragraph. Sentence 4 concludes, policymakers face challenges in balancing inflation and growth simultaneously. It summarizes the challenges posed by inflation. Correct order? 3, 2, 1, 4. Explanation of flow. Sentence 3 introduces the problem, inflation in critical items. Sentence 2 explains that wholesale prices may pass on costs to consumers. Sentence 1 highlights the impact on household spending. Sentence 4 concludes with the broader challenge for policymakers. Topic overview. The editorial discusses the ongoing mystery of deciphering the Indus Valley Civilization (IVC) script and the challenges researchers face, emphasizing the need for unbiased research free from political influence. Key points simplified. 1. Tamil Nadu's prize announcement. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin announced a $1 million prize for deciphering the Indus script. This was done during the 100th anniversary of the discovery of the Indus Valley Civilization, IVC, which was first documented in 1924 by John Marshall, then Chief of the Archaeological Survey of India. Example: imagine someone offering a huge reward for solving a 100-year-old puzzle about an ancient language. 2. About the Indus Valley Civilization. The IVC, also called the Harappan Civilization, existed during the Bronze Age 3000 to 1500 BCE. It spanned modern-day India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and was as advanced as the civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. It was an urban society known for its planned cities, but its script remains undeciphered despite numerous seals and tablets being found. 3. The debate on literacy. About 20 years ago, some scholars argued that writing was not necessary for ancient urban settlements like the IVC. They claimed the symbols on seals were not enough evidence to prove literacy. Others believed the IVC was a highly literate society. 4. Tamil Nadu's interest in the Indus script. Some researchers think the script might have been Proto-Dravidian, meaning it could have links to Dravidian languages like Tamil. Tamil Nadu has also been studying graffiti marks and inscriptions on potsherds from the region, hoping to uncover more about the script. Number 5. Challenges for researchers. Lack of access to data. Many seals and materials are not publicly available for study. Political interference. Studies should remain unbiased, and governments must not influence the findings. Regional collaboration. Countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Afghanistan should work together to study the IVC script, setting aside political differences. Example: imagine if scientists from different countries refused to share research on an important discovery due to political tensions. It would slow progress for everyone. 6. Importance of objective research. The editorial stresses that politics should not influence intellectual pursuits. Deciphering the Indus script could provide valuable insights into ancient history, but bias and political interference could hinder this. Conclusion: the mystery of the Indus script is not just a linguistic puzzle, but also a matter of cultural and historical significance. Collaborative, unbiased, and well-funded research is crucial to solving it, without letting politics cloud the effort. Does this message? 5 vocabulary words. 1. Deciphering, meaning the act of interpreting or understanding something that is difficult to figure out. Synonyms: decoding, interpreting, solving. Antonyms: obscuring, complicating, concealing. Example: researchers are working on deciphering the Indus script to understand its meaning. 2. Revived, meaning brought back into focus or activity after a period of neglect. Synonyms: resurrected, renewed, restored. Antonyms: neglected, destroyed, suppressed. Example: the announcement has revived global interest in the Indus Valley script. 3. Archaeological, meaning related to the study of human history through excavation and analysis of artifacts. Synonyms: historical, ancient, prehistoric. Antonyms: modern, futuristic, contemporary. Example: archaeological findings provide crucial insights into ancient civilizations. 4. Proto-Dravidian, meaning referring to a hypothetical common ancestor of Dravidian languages. Synonyms: pre-Dravidian, early Dravidian. Antonyms: modern Dravidian, contemporary. Example: some scholars believe the Indus script may have Proto-Dravidian roots. 5. Unravel, meaning to solve or explain something complicated or mysterious. Synonyms: solve, decode, untangle. Antonyms: confuse, tangle, complicate. Example: collaborative research among South Asian countries could help unravel the Indus mystery. 3 phrasal verbs. 1. Cloud over, meaning to obscure or make something less clear. Example, political interference should not cloud over the intellectual pursuit of deciphering the script. 2. Carry out, meaning, to perform or complete a task. Example, researchers must carry out their studies without external interference. 3. Made up of, meaning consists of or is composed of. Example, the Indus Valley Civilization was made up of urban settlements across modern India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. 3 idioms phrases. 1. Intellectual pursuit, meaning, a deep and focused effort to gain knowledge or solve complex problems. Example, deciphering the Indus script is an intellectual pursuit that requires unbiased research. 2. Revive interest, meaning to bring attention back to a subject that was previously ignored or forgotten. Example, the Tamil Nadu government's announcement has revived interest in the Indus script. 3. Much the poorer for it, meaning to lose out or suffer as a result of something. Example, if political differences hinder research, the world will be much the poorer for it. Short 1. Direct comprehension questions. Q1. What was the reason behind Tamil Nadu's $1 million prize announcement? A. To promote archaeological excavations. B. To decipher the script of the Indus Valley Civilization. C. To celebrate Tamil Nadu's cultural heritage. D. To document Tamili inscriptions. Answer. To decipher the script of the Indus Valley Civilization. Q2. When was the Indus Valley Civilization first officially documented? A. 1924, B. 1934, C. 1918, D. 1947. Answer A. 1924. Q3. Which regions did the Indus Valley Civilization span? A. India and Sri Lanka. B. Afghanistan and Bangladesh. C. India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. D. Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Answer C. India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Q4. Why is the Indus script challenging to decipher? Lack of proper tools for decoding. B. Lack of a publicly available database of seals. C. Lack of interest among researchers. D. Mismanagement by the government. B. Lack of a publicly available database of seals. Q5. Which civilizations were considered as advanced as the Indus Valley Civilization? A. Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. B. Greece, Rome, and China. C. Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome. D. Egypt, Rome, and Persia. Answer A. Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. Vocabulary bastions. Q6. What is the meaning of decipherment as used in the passage? A. Creation. B. Interpretation. C. Misunderstanding. D. Distortion. Answer B. Interpretation. Q7. What is the synonym of revived? A. Resurrected. B. Neglected, suppressed, de-obscurest. Answer resurrected. Q8. What is the antonym of cloud as used in the phrase cloud intellectual pursuit? A. Blur. B. Clarify. C. Conceal. D. Complicate. Answer B. Clarify. 3. Fill in the blanks. Q9. The Indus Valley Civilization spanned million square kilometers. A. 2.5. B. 1.5. C. 3.5. Q10. Tamil Nadu has supported a study on Indus signs and marks as part of documentation. A. Graffiti. B. Bronze. C. Stone. D. Copper. 4. Sentence rearrangement parajumbles. Rearrange the sentences to form a coherent paragraph. Q11. 1. This has made the Indus Valley Civilization comparable to Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. The Indus Valley Civilization, IVC, was a Bronze Age civilization spread across India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. 3. It was a highly urban civilization with advanced systems and infrastructure. 4. The civilization spanned 1.5 million square kilometers during 3000 to 1500 BCE. A. 243, 1B, 1423, C. 3214, D. 4123. Answer 2431. Explanation for parajumble step by step. 1. Identify the opening sentence. Sentence 2 introduces the topic, Indus Valley Civilization, clearly. 2. Follow with the timeline and scale. Sentence 4 gives details about its geographical extent and time period. 3. Discuss its features. Sentence 3 describes its urban nature. 4. Conclude by comparing it to other civilizations. Sentence 1 summarizes its significance compared to other ancient civilizations. 5. True, false, or fact-based questions. Q12. The Indus Valley Civilization was larger than Mesopotamia in geographical area. A. True. B. False. Answer A. True. Q13. A publicly accessible database for Indus seals is available. A. True. B. False. Q14. Political differences can hinder collaborative research on the Indescript. A. True. True. Let me know if you'd like more practice questions or need further explanations.